Got an opinion? Share it on the Pulse Morning Show. 942-6200.
All right. Hey, Wednesday morning rolling along here. I know I want to thank Wendy Chadwick for including the weather forecast there. Are we back on track with our weather, Paul? I see it's returned to the log, but...
No.
Oh, okay. Well, unsettled, I think, is a good word to kind of cover the weather angle for the morning. There's nothing unsettling about our guest who joins us now.
I thought you were going in another direction.
Oh, my gosh. No way. It's all, hey, everything comes up sunshine and pretty flowers when Jen Brooks from the Eastern Maine Development Corporation joins us in the studio. How are you?
I'm great. I'm good.
Hey, it's good to have you back.
Thanks.
It's good to have you back. I loved your story of the concert on the waterfront the other day. I'm glad you enjoyed the performance.
It was a fantastic concert. We had a great time. And it's so neat to be able to do that right here in our little area of Maine.
I know, right? You go see some crazy show with a huge crowd, and then 15 minutes later, you're sitting in your living room.
Yeah. But you know what, really? I was surprised at the number of friends pre-concert that posted pictures of themselves in the original Def Leppard T-shirt. And I thought, oh, no, I really am getting old. But
I know. Isn't it awful?
But it was great. It was great.
I'm glad you enjoyed it. As is so often the case, when you join us here in the studio, Jen, you bring along some great people for us to meet. And, well, hey, today no exception. Scott Perkins is the Economic Development Director for the town of Hermon. Thanks for being here, Scott.
Hey, thanks for having us. You called me great.
Yeah.
I may be out here for an interview tomorrow morning. If you keep that up. Thank you. I don't hear that very much.
If you can read the sports headlines, we might have a job for you. As our
sports guy, job of that.
Sports guy getting ready to skip out of town here. So what is the connection here? I mean, Eastern Maine Development Corporation, my perhaps traditional understanding of your organization, Jen, is that you work with individuals and entrepreneurs who are looking to further the development of their own business. But here you are with working with an entire community.
We're working with Scott,
Yay.
right? So we do some community development work. We do some brownfield work, but we also do some community planning work. And Hermon approached us and said, "Can you help me out here?" They've got some great things going on there and wanted to develop a plan for their future.
Yeah, you guys are really doing things out there. The town of Hermon is on the move.
We are probably, I know per capita, we're considered one of the fastest growing communities in the state of Maine. So we needed some help from a person or persons like the Eastern Maine Development Corps people and their team because we need strategic planning.
Sure.
We've had a lot of growth. Residentially, we've had an average of around 100 new residents a year moving in during the last 10-year period.
And that's during a period of time where the state as a whole is seeing a decline in population.
That's exactly right. But setting that aside and looking at the business community, last year alone we had between 14 to 15 new businesses move in to Hermon, expand in place, hire new employees, or move from lease to ownership, which required us to look carefully at ourselves. So last year we decided to form a committee of interested people in the community, and including some of the people in town in leadership positions like our counselors, our business people, our bankers, and people that had experience in finance come together and look at developing a relationship with someone who could help us with strategies.
Sure.
So we formed a relationship with Eastern Maine Development Corps, and it's been fantastic.
I got to say, a tip of the cap to all of the people that you just mentioned for having the foresight to recognize what's transpiring here. Sometimes it's easy to get sort of caught off guard. You get this influx of people, you got all this growth going on, and then after the fact, you find yourself trying to backtrack and come up with the appropriate answers.
Well, that's exactly right. It was actually really fun to be involved in the process because when you sit down with a bunch of community leaders and people who love their town, and you ask yourselves, what is our identity? Who are we? What are we good at, and where are we headed? It's a self-discovery process that leads you in a good direction to, look forward to the growth that's coming. It's actually a fun challenge to handle it.
Yeah, and it's an opportunity to take at least a moment to reflect upon success stories within your community. And I know there are a number of them in the town of Hermon.
There are, and one of the things we wanted to do was, with Eastern Maine's help, EMDC went out, and I think Jeff Whalen and Vicki Rustbalt, and I think, Jen, you probably had a little bit to do with it as well. You were kind of consulting along the way, but we visited some of our businesses and asked some questions. And, of course, they live in Herman, so they're very happy with us, but some of the things that we're hearing are, there are built-in advantages concerning our location, which we know is great. Right here next to one of the largest service centers in the form of Bangor, which it's fantastic, being in central Maine. But with access to rail and Bangor International Airport, Route 2, I mean, from some of my industrial parks on the Colebrook Road, I could throw a baseball and hit I-95. It's a great spot.
Right.
So they really like that. They love the low taxes in Herman. We brag a little bit about our mill rate. It's about half of what other communities experience. And excuse me, sorry, Bangor. Well, it's one of the competitive advantages we have. If
Absolutely.
you're talking about encouraging business and incentivizing growth and continuing with growth, low taxes, a good location are really important. But interestingly enough, the most important thing that they talked about, and I love this because we have a great mix of businesses in the industrial sector and in our parks, but also a lot of home-based businesses and smaller people trying to make it, is the customer service side. They want personalized service. They want the old-fashioned visit in the door, shaking their hand, saying, what are your challenges? How can we help you? And what can we do to make things better? Mm-hmm. And that was really a great thing to read in the survey, because a lot of our people like to have their business with us, but they also live in the town of Herman.
Right. Hey, I couldn't agree with you more about the that personalized aspect of having a very positive impact. I mean, for businesses trying to work with the community, it's really no different than it is individuals trying to work with a business. I mean, when you go into a retail location, you want to be approached. You want to be treated in a very positive fashion.
Absolutely
You want to have a really solid and friendly interaction with the business that you're choosing to do business with. So it only makes sense that a business would want to have a similar relationship with the town they have chosen to locate in.
It's not hard when you give it that kind of thought process, because every single time I walk in and talk to somebody, something good happens. So it's really been a lot of fun. And like I said, Eastern Maine Development Corps has helped us a long ways. They've done some data mining. We're going to develop a plan that hopefully helps us maintain some of these competitive advantages, because with everything that Herman's got going on, we do have some challenges with growth coming, and we want to continue to do well for not just ourselves, but the entire central Maine region. We're all in this together. Herman is going to shine a little bit maybe right now, but it's going to help other things and supply chain businesses and other communities that are going to get involved with us. So we're happy to do it.
And certainly there's plenty of room for growth there. There are opportunities that Herman can provide that are very unique in nature when you compare them to the opportunity that a business might have, for example, in a city like Bangor. It's great to be located in Bangor and to call that your home base. But, hey, maybe if you're just starting out, it makes sense to be in one of these neighboring communities like Herman.
I think you're right about that, because one of the great things about a smaller community like ours is they get very responsive staff interaction from, our code, and our permitting processes are inexpensive. And if you have a question today about something that's affecting your business, you get the answer today. And that's nice with a small staff. It's other communities can do that and do that very well also, but Herman prides itself in over delivering on some of those things, and we're right there when you call us.
Yeah, I think that's a very effective philosophy. The notion of under promise and over deliver. It's good to always work, striving to exceed the expectations of the people that you're engaging in, and the other side of that certainly is to temper expectation, to demand from the people that you're engaged with an understanding of the realities of the situation, so that people don't get a little too eager, or that their expectations don't get too carried away. I mean, and there are instances where that happens. It's just I think it's sort of a common sort of outgrowth of the excitement that often is associated with the creation of a new business.
Yeah, those are all growth issues too. You want to do everything possible And overpromising can be one of those areas that you have to be a little bit careful. And I know that that's the real reason why you need a good and solid plan. If you follow those goals, those strategic things, after you look at your data mining and decide what sectors you're going to serve, what you're going to do for business, and follow that plan, you're delivering services fairly, you're distributing your incentives in a fair and even-handed manner, and it's easy then to, say that you've done everything that you could to help people gain that competitive edge.
Jen, EMDC working closely with the town. If there's another municipality or somebody who lives in another outlying community is thinking, geez, this sounds like a pretty hot setup to me. What sort of services are you able to provide to a municipality that provide such a great benefit, that help them in establishing that direction for their own economic growth?
Well, to start, we can consult on an initial basis with the town and kind of talk with them what they want to do. But the work that we did with Herman was actually a fee for service. So it wasn't free. But I think they would say that they were pleased with the results that they got.
Thank you.
And we work with them to kind of come up with our own plan, our own contract between what EMDC will do and what the town, and sometimes towns have very active committees that will do a lot of the work, and we just kind of help guide the process. Sometimes they ask for us to actually do the process, go out and visit the businesses or develop the plan, what have you. So there's a varying level of or degrees of services that we can provide to municipalities. All they need to do is give us a call. They can either talk with Vicki or Jeff right at EMDC.
That's about as simple and straightforward as it can be.
Just call.
Yeah, hey, make the phone call. The town of Herman certainly pleased with the fact that we're
very happy
to make
with what
that
we're
phone
learning.
call.
Hey, we found one of the interesting things in our survey was we have a median age of only 40 years old. So we're very happy that Eastern Maine Development Corps told us we were young.
Yeah,
we were young.
absolutely.
That's a great median age. But when you learn about all these different data pieces and you start putting it together, it's very helpful. It's knowing your identity, and that'll help you know where you're headed.
And when you look at the level of services provided by the municipality as well, Herman stacks up very, very favorably. Great school system and such.
We're very pleased with our schools. We're very pleased with public safety. And I think the bottom line for us, when you consider everything we've just discussed, is that economic development and good planning leads to a great quality of life for the residents who live in your town. And that's our goal. I know there are a lot of people that share that sentiment with me at the town office. We're a small staff, but we love what we do.
Mm-hmm.
So thanks for asking about
Well, I think it's important for people in positions within municipal government to have that desire, to have that drive, to see to it that their community is the best that it can be, is the sort of place that draws attention and that people want to become a part of. And it's clear that Herman is certainly headed down that path in a major way.
I think that's right. Someone pulled me aside recently and said, you guys out there, you have servants' hearts. And I thought about what that meant, and afterwards, it's a great compliment.
It certainly is.
You have to have that perspective if you're going to do good work in municipal government, and I think that's key, really.
Well, hey, if I am either a resident of the town of Herman and I have an entrepreneurial mindset and I've been considering the potential for developing a business, or hey, maybe I'm somebody who's located in another town but think, you know what, sounds like Herman might be a place I need to check out. How do they go about doing that? What's the best way for somebody to contact you and to start those conversations?
The town manager is a great contact at Herman. I'm also a person that you can call. Our town office is listed, of course. You make a call and ask for community economic development, and they will send you to the right person. But like I said, most of the staff there are very familiar with our processes, and a lot of them, you may start with a code enforcement officer, you may start with a town manager, you might start with me in my office, all depending on what your questions are and at what level.
Sure.
But we can help you if you do make a call.
Sure. I'd be willing to bet that other business owners within the community would be happy to share a discussion of their experiences as well.
I think so. Looking at these survey questions, we got some great responses. So thank you, Jen, for helping with that and sending Jeff out. We stopped at 70. We have over 350 businesses in Herman.
No kidding.
Yes, we do. And we stopped because we started to get the recurring themes that we've already discussed.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
that was it was great news, really. We have a few challenges, but mostly very positive reaction from our business owners.
Right, and what better way to go about identifying those successes and those challenges than getting direct feedback from the people who are living that entrepreneurial life every single day right in your community.
That's exactly right. Again, I mean, this is why we're doing the plan. This becomes part of the plan. Some of these answers go in there and form the foundation for what we're going to do next, so we can continue to do the good things that they enjoy.
Well, hey, we're happy to have you. It's a pleasure to meet you, Scott. Thanks for making the trip.
This is great.
Jen, talk about continuing the good work. You continue to do the good work of bringing great people onto the radio, and we certainly appreciate
There
that.
you go again, calling me great. I'll be here tomorrow.
Jen, we look forward to your return in just a couple of weeks.
Thank you.